Why the zodiac sign Gemini is so resilient. Well, for one, Gemini is super duper adaptable. Gemini is a zodiac sign that is really good at adapting to their circumstances, adapting to the situations around them, even sometimes adapting to the people around them. You have to remember that Geminis are also really good at, conversation. They're blessed with the gift of gab. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So, Mercury is a very inquisitive planet. Mercury is a planet that loves to talk, loves to communicate, loves to express his or her ideas, especially Geminis. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Um, so Geminis tend to be very, very adaptable, really good at adapting to their surroundings and adapting to their situations. Another thing about Geminis is that they don't take things to heart. They don't take a lot of things to heart. Much like their, polar opposite zodiac sign Sagittarius, alright? The thing about Geminis is that they're too busy doing something. They're too busy thinking. They're too busy, making their next move. They're too busy talking to someone, or communicating an idea to really be, in their feelings about something. Geminis also understand that what someone says necessarily doesn't have anything to actually do with the Gemini. What someone says doesn't necessarily have to, be how that person feels or will feel for the rest of their lives. Now, maybe they do, maybe they will feel like that for the rest of their lives. That's that person's problem. And Gemini understands that. Because Gemini is such a unique individual and they know this. Geminis understand that there's so many billions of people in this world, and there's so many different ways of communicating, and there's so many people that they can communicate with, and to, that they never really get bogged down by losing one person, losing a friend, or being misunderstood, because at the end of the day, life goes on, and I think Geminis know that. They understand that tomorrow's a new day, and maybe that person won't feel the way they feel today. Maybe I won't feel the way I feel today tomorrow. Maybe I won't feel the way I feel today tomorrow. Like no one knows. Life is like that, and Geminis are like that. Do you ever notice like Geminis like they can say one thing and do another sometimes, or they can contradict themselves? Well, first of all, yes, it's because of, that twin moment that they have going on a lot of the times. The twins, symbolize Geminis, but they're not the only dual, zodiac sign. Granted, they're only ruled by one planet, but if you ever notice, a lot of the dual planet zodiac signs have a lot of contradictions in them anyway, but that's a separate video. So it's not just Geminis who contradict themselves, I mean to say that, but like, yes, the twin aspect, but it's also the fact that Geminis are just the types of people that allow themselves to change their mind, allow themselves to change, period. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something people need to maybe appreciate more about Gemini. I think some people appreciate that aspect about them, like, Scorpios are, always changing, always kind of, evolving, as are Virgos, Capricorns, those types of signs, which I feel are zodiac signs that Geminis actually can find that they have a good bit of in common with. But Geminis allow themselves to change. They allow themselves to change their opinions. They allow themselves to change their opinions. They allow themselves to form new opinions. If a Gemini is presented with a new evidence or new information, well, that kind of changes things. You know what I'm saying? That kind of changes the game, and I can only wish to live like that. As a Capricorn sun, Libra moon, Virgo rising, I'm like super duper cautious, but my Mars and Mercury is in Sagittarius, so I definitely have moments of being spontaneous, but if only I could have as much faith as Gemini has both in the present and the future. Because Geminis are like cats. They know at the end of the day they're going to land on their feet. And they know that, they have a couple more lives left. Like they're not really worried about, it all ending or, or them losing it all. Because they know, if that were to happen, which, God forbid it were to happen, I'm not a Gemini, but I'm gonna knock on wood here for you, Gemini, and do that for you. But you know, if anything were to happen, Geminis would be okay. They're adaptable. I'll adapt to the situation. I'll adapt to the circumstances, and I'll be fine. I'll find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Geminis are those types of people. They are the types of people who bridge the gap when there's seemingly no gap. Like when there's seemingly when it seems impossible, they find a way. So for that, I appreciate Geminis and their resilience. It's not like a. Excuse me, I need some coffee. Shout out to McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's not like a practical resilience. Not that they aren't practical, like say an Earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Like it's not a resilience that is externally tough, and you can't, knock their facade. You can't shake them because they're so focused, they're so determined, they're so structured within their mind and their process that you can't penetrate. Like, unless they have a lot of earth or, something like that in their chart. Geminis, it's more like of an intelligent resilience. It's more of a, well, I'll be okay, in the end because I'm adaptable, I'm smart, I'm witty, I, see things where other people don't see things. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Geminis have that to their advantage. It's a witty resilience. It's a, intelligent resilience. It's a quick on their feet, adaptable resilience, that Geminis have, that a lot of people don't have and wish they had. Like, I wish I had that, Granted, I have some of that energy, but it's in different forms, But Geminis are just, I have a lot of Gemini people in my life, and a lot of family members who are Geminis, friends who are and were Geminis, a lot of family members who are Geminis. And one thing I noticed is that even in the toughest of circumstances, they are generally so happy. They find something to be happy about. They, never really get down to the point where they stop moving, where they lose hope. They find a way to kind of bring themselves out of the darkness, as if they were never in the darkness at all. Even in the midst of the darkness, they found a way to, like light a match. Like Gemini's that type of person, like where like they, even like if they're in a dark cave, they find a match, they find a way to make something work where they can make some fire and bring some light into the situation. And it's like, okay, we got this going now, let's adapt, let's figure this out. Like they make a way out of the way. Next thing you know, Gemini's out of the cave, like, and you're like, oh my gosh, I threw you in there, I locked you, I locked all the escape exits. How did you do that? Geminis are just so resilient. You can't keep a Gemini down. No matter how hard you try, no matter how witty, smart you think you are, Gemini always finds a way. They just do. That's just the type of people they are. And I never want to hear anyone say Gemini's resilient. Gemini is, like a sign that's incapable, because they totally are capable of doing anything they set their mind to. Because remember, they're ruled by Mercury, so like they're ruled by the planet of the mind. They're ruled by the planet that rules, the mind, intelligence, and things of that nature. So, never underestimate a Gemini. I think that's the moral of this story, is to never really, underestimate a Gemini and the power that they have to succeed, and thrive, right? No matter how much you try to keep them down. So, I hope you got some understanding out of this video, and I hope it helped you to understand yourself a bit more, or someone in your life. And if it did, I would love if you hit the subscribe button. I would love if you would follow me on my social media at Lamarr Townsend, Instagram, Facebook.com/Lamarr Townsend Official on Facebook. And of course, check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. If you would like your own tarot reading or birth chart reading or love compatibility birth chart reading, also check out the product section, which will be rolling out here soon in the new year. And I love you guys. Okay, namaste, love and light. And may God keep you and protect you and bless you, okay? Peace out.